All of my friends who have kids are in hell. I don't know anyone. I actually don't know anyone who's like happy and has children.
Mothers are dragging Chappell because she came to an interview and say that all mothers, all her friends that are mothers are miserable. They are not happy. That she does not know any mother that is happy genuinely. All mothers that she know are just miserable. So that means she doesn't want to have children. Mothers are angry.
All of my friends who have kids are in hell. I don't know anyone. I actually don't know anyone who's like happy and has children at this age. I have like a 1-year-old, like 3-year-old, 4 and under, 5 and under. I literally have not met anyone who's happy, anyone who has like light in their eyes, anyone who has slept.
These are not looking too good.
I'm like, why did my parents do that? I'm the oldest of 4. My mom had me at 23.
Mothers that are not even Chappell friends are coming online to say, oh no, me, I'm not miserable. I am happy. You all need to stop all of that. I'm happy mother of 5. Da 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 da. Oh, that was too sensitive for you to say. Oh, you're a negative person. You all, is she wrong for her to come to an interview and say that all her friends that are mothers are miserable? Do you think is wrong for her to say that? And why do you think people are angry? Because you all mothers are angry. They are. As usual. They don't really like hearing. You know, mothers not actually really like hearing when people tell them that mothers are miserable, mothers are not happy, genuinely, da 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 da. They are always very defensive. They always want to come out and tell you how happy they are to be parent or to be a mom. Let me show you some videos, then we'll come back and talk about it.
I feel like Chappell Roan is the miserable one because that was just a crazy take, I feel. And the thing is that it's so common that people will not use their brain cells for like 3 seconds to realize how crazy such a take is. Like to get on a platform as a pop star. I'm a pop star. Okay, girl, as a pop star. To get on a platform and to like say, oh yeah, my friends are miserable. They have kids and they're miserable. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? If my friend did that to me, we'd be having a chat, okay? We'd be having a talk. Because why would you feel the need to say that? Like, just because if they tell you, oh yeah, I'm struggling with this or I'm struggling with that, that does not mean that you get on a platform and you just start to, yeah, my friends are all miserable. Like, that's so weird. And on top of that, we all know that the reason why she said that was because she was really trying to make a generalization about parenthood in general and about motherhood and how motherhood is miserable. And you don't have to say that. You just don't have to say that. You can just say, I don't want to have kids because I don't want to have kids. That's a respectable answer. But to go to the lengths that she did to try to make her point and sound cool and edgy, and it just was insulting to like a lot of mothers who are like, what? Like, girl, what? Like, you didn't have to do that. But it just goes toward this bigger issue that has been an issue on the internet for a while. And I'm going to say the quiet part out loud. Y'all hate children. You hate kids. And it's very weird to me how much people hate kids, considering the fact that, one, we were all kids at some point. Okay. I didn't think that needed to be said, but apparently people don't really realize that like we were all kids at one point. 2, children are the best in society. They are the most vulnerable. They are the sweetest and kindest of our society. They're the most genuine. Yeah. They're the most honest. They're the most pure. They do the least bad stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not the ones that are doing the evil things. It's the adults. So to hate kids is just a very disgusting thing. And the thing is, people know that, and so they'll never admit to the fact that they hate kids, but they do. All of the people who are like, kids shouldn't be in public spaces. You hate kids. Just say you hate kids. Any reason that you can come up with as to why children shouldn't be in public spaces is null and void, because at the end of the day, you're being intellectually dishonest, and really, you're just being dishonest. Really, like, not even just, you're just being dishonest about the reason why you don't want them there. It's because you hate kids, which is disgusting, mind you. Like, I think you have to be like a very, very evil person to hate children. Truly, very evil person to hate children. So it's just strange to me. Like, they're a whole people group. They're super innocent. They don't do anything except exist. They didn't ask to be here. Why do you hate them? Like, you're disgusting, in my opinion. And then there are those people who like make child free by choice content, which I made a video about this and people came for me, but I don't care. I'm going to still say it again. I think it's weird to make child free by choice content, because why are you making content about something you don't have and centering? You're literally centering something that you don't have for your content. Is that not weird? Oh yeah, follow me around a day in my life as a tattoo-less person. Girl, nobody cares that you don't have a tattoo. Like, nobody cares that you don't have a child. Nobody cares. Like, just make your content and go. Like, but to center children and be like, I'm child free by choice, meaning you're childless. You're childless. Which is fine. Like, you don't need to have children. I don't have any kids. Not everyone needs to have kids. Like, That's valid to not have kids. But once you start centering not having kids as your content, that's weird. That's
How?
weird. Like, it's like if I'm saying, oh yeah, husbandless, husbandless by choice, oh, I'm husbandless by choice because I just don't need a man, I don't need a man, I don't need a man, da 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 da. Make all my content about day in the life of a husbandless woman, by choice, day in the life. And at some point, it starts to seem like you really want a husband. Like, at that point, like, why do you keep talking about this? You don't have it. Move on. What's the next thing? Like, to center your content about something that you don't have, it's weird to me. And I think that a lot of those people just hate kids. Truly. Like, I do. I just think that there are a lot of people who hate kids. Because why do you need to make that all of your content? Like, there are people who, they don't have kids and they make content and they don't say anything about kids because they don't have them. Like, so what? And that's normal. That's what, like, normal people do. They just make content. Like, that's normal. And then there are those people who, they just... I hear a lot of different things from people about kids. And like, a lot of different facets of the internet, a lot of different conversations about kids. And it all boils down to, all those conversations have one major thing in common. Y'all hate kids. It's very strange to me, and it's very evil. And I think Chappell Roan hates kids. I do. I believe that. I don't like the girl. To be honest, like, I've tried to, like, not just outright dislike her, but, like, this take was crazy. And just her smug attitude about it. And just, like, she just, to me, I just get a nasty vibe from her. And to say something like that, ew. Ew, ew, ew.
The people who have made me the most scared to become a mother are mothers. The people who have made me the most afraid of becoming a mother are mothers themselves. I'm engaged, we think about kids all the time, and I'm afraid that what Chappell said is all I see. Unfortunately, I related to exactly what Chappell said. Like, I see so many women who are like, this is miserable. And maybe they don't want to say that. And I feel like mothers are the most competitive, judgmental, nasty. Even my friends who have become mothers, the way that they talk about other women and other mothers is dark. I'm like, damn, like I'm engaged now. We talk about kids, we were planning a wedding, and I was saying to a friend of mine that I was gonna invite this other mother. I was saying to a friend of mine who's a mother that I was gonna invite this other mother who we know in common, and she was like, rolled her eyes, and she was like, the way she's parenting those kids is just... I'm afraid the call's coming from within the house. Like, y'all are mean to each other. Listen, I debate every day if I want to have children. I genuinely don't know if it's something that I want to spend my time doing because I'm acutely aware of how much of a job it is. And this is someone who loves kids. But I think what I see more is this overcompensation of like, I am not just a stay-at-home mom, I work. It's kind of like how Nepo babies are like, I am not a Nepo baby, I work hard. It's like, no one's saying you don't work hard. That's not what stay-at-home mom means. It just means that you don't work in the workplace, that you work out of the home. I feel like attacked sometimes by people trying to prove to me that like, I am not an idiot, I work. And I'm like, okay, great. And that's the only reason why I think people are responding to this, like, these crash outs is like, because why do you care? If you're not who she's referring to, why do you care? Listen, I live in New York City. The amount of times that I see clips on here, people saying, living in New York, everyone I know is miserable, broke, tired, and like hungry. It's dirty. It's disgusting. Why would you live in New York? And I see stuff like that and I literally just keep scrolling. I'm like, I can't relate. Cannot relate. I live in New York. I love New York. I love my job. I make good money. I love my partner, my relationship, my friends. I love being, so I just can't relate. So if you can't relate to what Chappell Roan said, then, pay her no mind, obviously.
All of my friends who have kids are in hell.
So Chappell Roan is getting canceled because of what she said about motherhood and not wanting to have children. I've got 4 kids and I have strong opinions about that interview, but they're probably not the ones that you are anticipating. I actually found out about this because my second kid, who's 20, called me while I was on my walk today and was like, Mom, people are trying to cancel Chappell Roan because she said that she doesn't want to have kids and all of her friends who are mothers of young children are miserable. She doesn't know anybody who has little kids who's happy. And people on the internet are really pissed off about it. And again, obviously, I have 4 kids. They're 22, 20, almost 17, and 13. And I had my first child when I was 23 years old, the same age that Chappell Roan's mother was when she had her. And Chappell is the eldest of 4. So I want to show you a little bit of this interview and then talk about it because I have big feelings.
All of my friends who have kids are in hell. I actually don't know anyone who's like happy and has children at this age. I have like a 1-year-old, like 3-year-old, 4 and under, 5 and under. I literally have not met anyone who's happy, anyone who has like light in their eyes, anyone who has slept.
So folks are pretty mad that Chappell said that in that interview, but like no lies detected. I honestly don't understand why people are pissed off at her for this, because it is terrible to be a mother in America. It is a lonely, unsupported, stressful job to be a mother of small children in America. I don't know why anybody would sign up to do it, especially in Trump's 2025 America. We don't have a village here in America. Toxic individualism underpins everything in our society. And not only that, but like we don't have paid maternal leave. 40% of America's pregnant women are on Medicaid and they're about to lose their coverage. Between 30 and 40% of children, depending on where you live in the country, are on Medicaid and they're about to lose their health care coverage. Mothers are watching all of the programs that are supposed to help support their children, their schools, lunches, SNAP benefits, support for kids with disabilities, all of those being stripped away. But not only that, like even before all of this current horror that we're living in, it really sucked to be a mom in America. I was never so lonely and isolated as when I was the mother of 2 children under the age of 2. And then 3 children, 5 and under. I mean, and like, honestly, it just got worse. When I had 4, I was shamed by other women for having so many children, for choosing to stay home and be their primary caregiver. I was lonely. I was exhausted. Being the primary caregiver for multiple small people who need you 24/7 is absolutely exhausting. And then trying to work part-time or full-time on top of that. I mean, I just don't understand why Chappell is getting flack for this. And we're watching a declining birth rate in the United States, which is freaking the fascists out. By the way, birth rates absolutely decline in fascist regimes because it's not safe for women to have children and it's not a good environment to raise children in, and people are not financially secure enough to raise children. But even before all of this, it was terrible to be a mother of young children in the US. It's exhausting. You're sleep deprived. You're stressed. You do not have the support network that you need. There is no village. Moms are shamed no matter what they do, whether they bottle feed or breastfeed, how they choose to parent their kids. We are constantly subject to ridicule, to derision. We are constantly shamed and belittled. Not to mention, pregnancy is a giant strain on the body, and childbirth is walking a knife's edge between life and death. Especially, honestly, if you're a Black woman in America, our maternal mortality rate for Black women is terrible. My 2 adult daughters do not want to have children. And obviously, I fully support them in that. And they may, I don't know if they'll change their minds or not. What you want at 22 and 20, who knows if you'll want that when you're older. But like, I see that's very common amongst their friend group. Folks don't want to embrace the vocation of motherhood. They do not want the responsibility of having a relationship that lasts a lifetime. And for the first 18 years of it, you are the caregiver. That person is dependent upon you. I would like to think that because my children understand what the sacrifice of motherhood is and what it takes to be a good parent, and how so many children in this country are denied the kind of parenting that they need and deserve, that they're like, yeah, I actually don't feel supported enough to be able to give a kid everything that they need. So it is better if I do not become a mother. And I see a lot of people in my comments, especially when I made a video that was like, what have you lost as a result of Trump getting elected? So many people in my comments were like, I really wanted to have a kid this year. I now feel that I will not get to become a mother because of the state of this country and because it's just too precarious to bring children into America right now. And it's also just too hard. It's too hard. It already was incredibly emotionally, physically, and financially taxing, and we were left without supports. And now it's just, it's untenable. And so many folks in my comments were grieving that reality of like, before these times, having a child becoming a mother was difficult. It was thankless. Many of us lack the skills and support. Like we don't really know how to parent well. We're often flying blind and we're learning as we go. And it is really terrifying to find out that you are responsible for a tiny, completely dependent person, and you don't know what you're doing because you live in a culture that is very anti-child, that does not support good parenting techniques, that has left you ignorant. And it's like, good luck, you're on your own, figure this out. Right? So many young mothers are shocked when they are discharged from the hospital and they're like, it's just me and this tiny person and my like recovering traumatized body. and I'm going to go back home all alone. And me and my partner, if I have a partner, like we don't really know what we're doing, and we're now responsible for another human being. I guess I just don't know what is wrong with what Chappell said. Mothering, if you do it well, is absolutely sacrificial. It's incredibly difficult. It requires an extensive set of skills. It's exhausting. It's a 24-hour-a-day job. It's something that really evolutionarily and culturally requires support. And mothers are denied all of the resources that we really need to make that job sustainable. So of course, America's mothers in 2025 are miserable. Like she just was spitting facts. Like I don't understand the problem. I mean, I love my children. I have zero regrets about having 4 kids. It is my greatest privilege to watch them grow into the people that they are becoming, right? It is such a privilege to have relationships with them and get to be challenged by them, get to love and care for them, get to see them be their full, true, authentic selves. But when I was the mother of young children, I was intensely lonely. We were very poor. It was incredibly stressful. I was sleep deprived and at my wit's end almost on a daily basis. My parents lived all the way across the country. I really didn't have any support. We have superhuman expectations of what mothers are capable of and what they should be doing. And we don't extend them any of the support that they need so that they have the bandwidth, the capability to find joy in their job. Motherhood should not be thankless. It should not be miserable. It absolutely is challenging and difficult and tiring, but it should be sustainable. It should be worthy. It should be something that brings you joy as well. But it is absolutely 100% this culture that makes it miserable and untenable, and something that more and more young women are choosing to opt out of. Even if like maybe they really love kids. I mean, there's also the pressure to see children as parasites, a suck on your time and resources, something less than fully human, right? To see children as an obligation instead of a relationship with another person. And I don't think anybody who views children as a burden, as a parasite, as a suck on your resources is someone who should become a mother. I fully support any of those folks who don't feel that they are equipped or don't feel that they are capable of giving children the childhood that they deserve. I fully support all of those folks choosing not to become parents, right? I don't think everybody should be a parent. I fully support my own children's choices to do what they want with their adult lives. But I also think we live in a society that hates children, that hates mothers, that is incredibly unfriendly and hostile, openly hostile to children and the caregivers of children, that leaves young mothers incredibly vulnerable, exhausted, and miserable. Everything Chappell said, I have no problem with. Please tell me, where is the lie in that interview?
So I think people are missing the whole point as to why moms are crashing out that Chappell Roan said every mother she knows is miserable. I see a lot of people in the comments saying that the moms are miserable and that's why they're crashing out. They can't admit it to themselves and no mom who's happy would care. No, that's not it. This is why they're mad and you should be infuriated. I'm a woman in my 30s and I don't have kids, but I have a lot of friends with kids and I see the way society treats me and the way society treats them. Mothers are not allowed to be complete people and you get misogyny from both political sides. If you express that you're really tired and you haven't slept in weeks, or that your toddler is frankly being a little wild animal because they're going through something, or even just that you're upset that you can't do the things that you used to do, people paint it as if you have ruined your life and it's your fault and you're a miserable human being. I mean, I see this all the time where people say mothers are bad friends because they can't show up like they used to. Or mothers are selfish because they chose to have a baby even though like there's climate change. Or mothers are annoying because they ask for too many favors and they're a drain on society. It was your choice to have kids, so you deserve to be as miserable as that makes you. Or even the weird one, like children should not be allowed in a majority of public spaces because children are annoying, which in turn keeps mothers from public spaces because we know that's who does the majority of childcare. But then if you express that like the biggest joy in your life is the fact that you had a child or that you love your child so much and it's one of the best things that ever happened to you, you get framed as this person who has no goals, no motivation, no real skills, no real desires. You are not a worldly person, you are a simple person. And then you have this like creepy alt-right who is trying to tell you like, congratulations, that's like your true calling. You're not allowed to really do anything else. And that is the thing that you should be doing, and that's kind of it. So at the end of the day, on one side, you are this unfortunate prisoner of your family that you designed yourself. You are the person who put on the shackles. And on the other side, you are this very flat being who has no other goals or passions, and you are fulfilling your true purpose on earth, which is nothing else. You don't get anything more. And nobody has this energy for anything else. Like, for example, when I started touring, right? Because I'm a musician. When I started touring with my band, we did the absolute worst tours imaginable. We would drive from New York to Kansas to play to like 5 people. And it was hard and it was terrible. And I would complain a lot about how hard and terrible and tired it made me. And I knew at the end of the day that it would lead me to the career that I wanted. The career where I got to tour Europe, where I got to like sing on TV. Whenever I complained about it to people, they were like, we're so proud of you for really like grinding it out and hustling. You're going to get to where you want to go. You're going to make it. You're doing all the right stuff. Nobody tells that to mothers. When they're up all night with a colicky baby and they're like, I'm just so tired. It's not you're doing the right thing and in a few years' time, you're going to feel that accomplishment you wanted. Instead, it's just like, well, you ruined your own life, so.
Chappell wasn't talking to you. Chappell wasn't talking about you. And that's okay. You don't have to center yourself in every narrative. You don't. You are not oppressed, baby girl. When you speak of motherhood and when you speak of being a parent, you know what the rest of us do? Say, okay, if motherhood worked out for you, that's great. I love that for you. I really do. I really love that for you. That's a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful purpose in your life. I love that for you and I support you. You know what happens when we say how we really feel about motherhood? Oh my God, we got to stop with this narrative that motherhood is the worst thing in the world and blah, blah, blah. No, what? I'm sorry, what? You guys are not oppressed. Most of the people on this earth agree with your ideology. If you're happy, be happy. I just think it's really weird when you guys try to be oppressed so fucking badly. Like, what is it? And we're not even talking about what she said directly before all of this. She said that she didn't even know if she's going to be able to marry the person that she loves because of the way the country is going. We're not even talking about that part because you guys didn't listen to the whole episode, clearly. You listen to one little part and you make a whole ass fucking dissertation and think piece about this girl after listening to a fucking 30-second clip. That's embarrassing. You're not oppressed, baby girl. You're not oppressed. Go enjoy motherhood. We wish you well. It's just sometimes we wish that maybe you would wish us well too, but we know that's a tall order and that's never gonna happen.
I might delete this later, but I'm going to speak my piece on the Chappell Roan situation because when she said what she said about motherhood, I was not surprised. I have never heard a single positive word come out of her mouth, whether it has to do with motherhood or her career or her life. I seriously haven't really heard a single positive thing ever. So what she said when she was talking about how her friends that have kids are in hell, it really struck a chord with me because I was like, okay, and you are such a negative person, which makes me think that you are also surrounding yourself with negative people. So yeah, that makes sense that she's getting fed information from her mom friends that is negative, because I don't know a single person who has an ounce of positivity or happiness in their heart who could be friends with her, because she is so negative. Being around somebody like that must be so draining. So we really cannot get upset about what she said, because she's getting her information from people who are like-minded and people who are just miserable in life. That's the first thing. Second of all, she's the type of person on the airplane who your kid's crying, you're overwhelmed, you're having a horrible time. She's the type of person that would make you feel bad, make you feel more overwhelmed, get mad at you versus offering to help. So it's not we would want to be friends with her anyway as mothers, you know what I mean? We can't get that upset, but I also feel it's a good content opportunity. So if you guys want to make your content off of what she said, I get it. It's going viral, make your content. But also it's really funny because I feel exactly what she needs is a child to bring that happiness and bring that love in her heart, because she clearly knows nothing of what that feels like, and it's hard to speak on it if you've never even experienced it. So she doesn't really have room to be talking anyway. But I feel having a kid and having something to live for, because clearly she's unhappy, that would I don't know, I just pray that she feels the love of having a child one day, because I feel she could really use it, especially with the way that she acts and the words that come out of her mouth. I feel that could just really change her as a person. It changed me as a person. I'm the same age as her and I have a 3-year-old, and no love until you have the love of your child. And yes, motherhood is hard. Being a mom is harder than her job for sure, but she just has no idea because she's never experienced it. Anyway, what I'm saying is we can't be mad at her, because we would never be friends with somebody that negative anyway. 1, 2, actually having a child would probably be the best thing that ever happened for her. And 3, she needs to grow the fuck up.
I've seen a lot of the childless people versus the parents all over my For You page. It's like there's a competition of whose life is better and whose life sucks. I don't really have any opinions on that, but there is something I want to talk about. There's something called the 12 laws of the universe, okay? You can read them all. And this one right here, number 10, law of polarity. It's the law that everything has an opposite. For every positive, there's a negative. For every up, there's a down. For every good, there's a bad. You hear the quotes all the time. With great power comes great responsibility. With great love comes great pain. So the idea that parents can't experience all the extreme negatives and the extreme lows without experiencing all the extreme highs and positive is just not true. There's a reason why so many moms feel the highest of high right after having their baby. And the most common time for a woman to get depressed is right after having a baby, because with that high comes a great low. And to say that they can't coexist, that you just have to define being a parent with all the lows, is just not true. And in fact, it's the opposite. They actually can't exist without each other. You can feel two things at the same time. And by the way, when you're sad, you're not actually sad. You're feeling sad. You're not your emotions. You're the one experiencing them. I know I sound like Buddha, okay? You probably think I'm like crazy, but it's just the truth. And when it comes to Chappell Roan, I don't hate her. I don't think she's bad or mean or dumb for saying that. I think that there's a time that I didn't know everything I know now, and I look at her, she's young. I'm pretty confident she's gonna look back on that clip someday and say, damn, I shouldn't have said that. And maybe when she's a mom and she's experiencing the greatest love she's ever felt, but at the same time she feels great pain and sadness.
Chappell Roan said that all of her parent friends are miserable, and honestly, all sides are taking this weird. Because at the end of the day, most parents are miserable. Before y'all jump me, no, this is not the space for parents, namely moms, to try to tell us just how happy and elated they are. I'm happy that you're happy. Obviously, this conversation is not about you. I am one of those incredibly happy parents. But so many people are actually neglecting the real problem here, which is the why are so many parents so miserable. And fun fact, it's actually not the children. Because for most people, it's not the children that's making everybody's life so miserable and so hard. Most people want their kids and are happy to be around their kids. It's everything else. Like everybody else, parents are overworked and underpaid, but they have the added stress of making sure that at least one other human being is alive and taken care of. Most parents don't have a super tight support network, and I say that as a person who does have a super tight support network, and that is realistically why I'm so happy in parenthood, because I don't feel lonely and isolated from all the people that were supposed to love and care for me. Before y'all jump me, no, it's not an entitlement that moms or parents just need community and are always looking for a helping hand or whatever. It's the fact that we live in community with each other and should be relying on each other. It's basically having friends. Y'all know that people should have friends, right? Parents, non-parents, everybody needs friends. Y'all forget that for parents a lot. And then you get online and there's just endless discourse about how awful kids are, how they don't deserve to be a part of society, how there's such a burden, how parents are failing their kids just by nature of having them. Like, it's just all of this negativity all of the time. And then parents get on here and complain about any of the number of things making them miserable, but especially the kids, because it's easy to pick on the little guy. And y'all just go, oh, but you deserve to be miserable. You decided to have kids. It just becomes this endless cycle of misery. And Chappell Roan is clocking that in the people around her because it's obvious. We as a culture and a society have failed each other pretty much in any way that we possibly could, which is nuts considering we live in a political climate where people are getting arrested for having miscarriages. So no, parents don't need to try to convince the world how happy and fulfilled they are in parenthood in order to prove some type of point to stick it to a pop star. And no, people don't need to rag on parents and be like, ha, I told you you'd be miserable, you brought this upon yourself. What we need to be doing is looking around, accepting the fact that a lot of parents are miserable, figuring out why that is, and then doing something about it. Because at the end of all this, what's actually happening is the dehumanization of literal human beings, human children, because we'd rather pick on the little guy than resolve any of the actual issues we have.
Do I agree with Chappell? I would say yes, and why I would say that is because I understand when she said all our friends are not happy, all the friends that are mothers are not happy, because when you look at women that have children and you're close to them, right, most of them are not living the kind of life that they want. Forget it. Most of them love their children. They love their children, but they don't love being a mom. Let me tell you, being a mom, the work of being a mom, you're going to be a nurse, a cook, cleaner, like so many things. And the crazy part is you're working 24 hours clock. You don't have break. You don't get appreciated. If you do any tiny little thing wrong, everybody is all on you. If your child have probably as more as cough, like just cough, just everybody's like, oh, your mom, then your mom. Everybody's on the mother. The child is not properly dressed, or the child is, doing something that is wrong, probably throwing tantrum or behaving one kind of weird way. It's the mother. The child is not, um, you know, sound in class. When it comes to learning, it's the mother. The child is this, is the mother. The child talks back at, is the mother. Like the mom are always being a mom. Like when it comes to being a mom, it to me it is the most difficult job ever. And the fact that you don't even get paid for that job, you're just doing it out of the goodness of your heart, is terrible. And because most women, most mothers, they will love their child. It's not the children that are the problem. It's not that they hate their children so much. That's why their life is miserable. No. Most of them don't hate their children. In fact, I feel like all mothers don't hate their children. They shouldn't. Okay. You shouldn't hate your child. But then is the work that you have to put in to be a mother. If you really want to be a good mom, you need to put in a lot of work. You need to put in your all if you want to be a good mom. And you putting in your all will take out so many things about you. You're not going to have time to do anything. Your friends that don't have children, you don't have time for them. The ones that have children, you don't have time for them. You don't have time for anything, like literally. And if you're waiting for probably, oh, I'm going to have village that's going to come for take care of me, or I'm going to have a supportive husband, you might not have all of that. And sometimes the ones that you know told you, don't worry, have like 3 children, what is there, I'm going to take care of those children for you. After you give birth, they're just looking at you like this. Is that not your child? Carry your child is crying. Like it is very draining. And another thing why mothers are going to be miserable and really not happy being a mom is because they don't have breaks. See, you walk all around. You're walking all around. There'll be a time like you just want to take a fresh air, like you just want to relax. You don't want to be a mom at that period. It's not possible for you not to be a mom. Even mothers that goes for vacation also have that brain like, oh, I need to check on my child. Or you're even being a mom while you're on vacation, while you're relaxing. That is why they might not be genuinely happy. And I'm not saying it is all mothers that are going to not be genuinely happy. Some mothers have figured it out and they realize and they understand how the whole thing works and they try to balance things. If you figured it out and you try to balance things as a mom, good for you. Not all mothers have balanced things. Not all mothers have got it figured out. Some mothers still feel like they don't need help because they see mothers as, why should you need help? Your life should be perfect because you are raising a child. Nobody talks about the father. If you have a deadbeat dad, deadbeat father, people be like, it's a man. But you be a horrible mother, everybody is on you. Everybody is like, why are you talking to your child like that? Why are you doing this to your child? Why don't you have time for your child? You cannot see a mom go out, dress, lead, and all of that, and just go out and you not see one person, just one person that will ask her, where are your children? How come you're out here enjoying yourself and your children out? Where did you put your children? Where is your child? You won't ask a dad that question. They don't ask that question. So personally, I don't see any problem in her saying all her friends. And she's also saying is her friend that she doesn't even know any mom. So maybe you are happy and you figured things out already and you'll be able to balance things and you can actually live your life and also be happy for yourself, be happy with yourself, be happy for who you are, and also be a mom and also be a good mom at that point. but she doesn't know you. She's only talking about the ones that she knows, the friends that she knows. Probably she's seen a friend and she's like, this is not who you used to be. Like, what is up with you? And as we said in the last yesterday video, talking about before and after breakup, you will not know what you're going through in a relationship once you're out of it. Most of the times, the people that are outside the relationship that will look at you and tell you something is up with you, but really you're changed. And that is what she's trying to say. Like, she doesn't even know any of her friends that are genuinely happy being mom. So why should she be a mom? Maybe they always call her to complain. Maybe whenever she calls, they're always screaming at their children, they're always shouting. How can you say she's you all really? There's this creator that usually do little skits, and it'd be like mothers be like mother be like have children are adorable and all of that, but they're on the phone with their friend, or while they are telling the friend, oh, you can have a mom, you can be a mom, have children, they are so nice. And the next minute it's shouting. They're shouting at the children, will you stop that, you I feel like, and you are advertising motherhood, but you're already running mad on the phone already in just less than how many seconds. What kind of advertisement is that? Okay, people get it. People that see you, that you have children, they know that you love those children. Don't get me wrong, they know you love them, you adore them so much. But the work of being a mom, because you are going to be the one to do everything. If you're lucky enough to have a good spouse that will help you, good for you. Or if you're lucky enough to have village people that you can call, people that you don't even have to call them, they are there and tell you, you know what, take a break. Just take a break. If you have people like that, good for you. Not everyone have people like that. In one of those videos, the woman said that when she had the child, her mother was living across the country, like far away. Some people get married and they stay far away from their family, from their village. What are you going to do about it? How do you balance life? How are you telling them these kind of women are going to be happy? They might finally be happy later on, maybe years later, after they've gotten it figured out. But at that beginning stage, it's not possible. Like, really, even if they come out to smile like they are happy, deep down they are not, and that is just the reality. And I don't see anything wrong with what Chappell said, to be honest, because that is what we see in motherhood. Most women are just generally miserable, the ones that have children, especially the ones that have a lot of children to handle. You hear them screaming at their children, you hear them shouting. They give birth to more children than they can control, that they can handle, that they can take care of. They have so many children, thinking, oh, that is what society said we should do. Let me have so many children. But they cannot control those children. They cannot handle those children. They're just having them for having sake. That is why most of them are miserable. And one of the creators was saying that something about living in New York. People used to come and talk about, oh, New York is bad and she's living in New York. It doesn't affect her and all of that. Yes, if you're not a miserable mom, that post is not going to affect you. Really, it is because it is paining you. You are one. That is why you always see mothers always attacking, like, I don't really like child free by choice women, always saying a day in the life of a child free woman. Why are you paying? That is their content. That is their content. Let them have the content. Let them do the content. Why are you angry that somebody is basing their life of living a child free life? That is their life. That is a lifestyle. Why are you pained? Mothers have pages. There are a lot of mom tuber. They call it mom tuber. They create content around being a mom. Why can't you say that? Oh, I can't believe that you're living it. Why nobody talks about mothers that have YouTube pages that just create their page about being a mom? Nobody talks about mothers that have Instagram, TikTok pages that just create content about being a mom. Nobody's talking about it. But if you come as a child-free woman and you're talking about your life being child-free, you're doing too much. And it's always come from mothers. Why are you guys miserable? Why? Like, really, it's not so hard for you to be happy for people that don't want to live the kind of life you're living. They see it. And the thing is, you might not see it yet. I feel like most of them don't even get it yet. And that is why they're always aggressive around, oh, you will know love until you have a child. You will not know love. Nobody what do you mean until I have a child before I can know what it means to love? So many other things. And yeah, I don't see anything wrong with what she said. To me, I don't see anything wrong with what she said. She actually said the truth. Most mothers are not happy, genuinely. And the thing is that most of them, the ones that claim that they are happy, not the ones, I feel like some are happy, oh, some are happy. The ones that figured it out, the ones that have figured it, and those ones are not going to be angry. But the ones that are coming out angry but still claim that they are happy but they are angry, I don't know. Anyways, you guys, what is your take? Do you think what she said was wrong? Do you think she should have said it, or should you think she should have come for her friends like that for an interview and just called her friend out like all of you are just miserable? What is your take on today's conversation? Let's have conversation down in the comment section respectfully. As always, it's your girl Mara David, and thank you so much for tuning. And hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.